Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at a 360 Slim drive. So this one's a bit different. We're looking at a DG16T4S. So as you see there, it's just a normal Slim drive. And what I want to do today is I want to flash it. So I got me a LTU2 perfect version for the DG5S, DG4S. Doesn't matter. It'll work with this. To basically flash it and get custom firmware. I know this isn't a thing that people do anymore, but I thought it'd be cool to do it on a console. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna try to run you guys through it because it seems like it's a bit hit or miss right now, and I feel like I've been more hit than miss. So maybe this will be useful for you. So a few things we're gonna need. You're gonna need a USB Pro or USB Pro V2. I'm gonna use this for my external SATA. I'm sure if you have an internal SATA ports or card, you can use it, at least that you used to be able to back in the day. You're gonna need a way to power the drive, so I got my CK3i. I think there's a CK3i Pro also. Don't know if you can even find these anymore, but you could probably, you might be able to if you look somewhere. These, I'll leave a link. You used to be able to find them on AliExpress and stuff, but here in the US, due to reasons, can't really find them anymore. Can't find them anymore cheaply. Other than that, you're gonna need to RGH your console. So if you have a Slim, well, this is only for Slims, you're gonna have to RGH 3, RGH 1.2, RGH 2, or you can use the bad update exploit, because you're gonna need to get your NAND and CPU key to dump some files that you will need. But that's really it. So we can just kind of jump into it. I don't need my drive yet, so I'll put this aside. These PCBs sometimes can be, like I mentioned, a bit tricky to work with. But yeah, this is what it looks like. It's nothing fancy. It's just a regular schmegular PCB. You connect it, you know, yada yada yada. It's funny that the box says easy to operate, and it's kind of not, because a lot of the software that you use is no longer being updated and websites have been shut down. But I believe all we got to do is give her some juice. We'll plug in our USB. Boop, boop. And you're going to need on your PC Jungle Flasher and the firmware files and drivers and stuff. If you're running Windows 11, Windows 10 or 11, you're gonna have to disable driver enforcement. Okay, welcome to the PC view. So a few things that you should have prior to doing this. Since you're doing a Slim, you're gonna need your NAND dumps, and you're gonna need your CPU key. So since I flashed this console in the last video, I have it right here. So these are my NAND dump 1 and 2, and when I got my CPU key from Zell, you can do this via RGH, I don't know, RGH 2, RGH 3, the bad update exploit, if that's what it's called. When you do all that, you'll have an extract folder, and you'll basically need your cr.bin and your fcrt.bin. That's it you need from your NAND side. You may need your DVD key, but I'm not 100% sure. Other than that, in this drive flashing pack folder, I'll leave a link to all of this. You'll have Jungle Flasher version 0.1.96. And in here, you'll have a firmware folder. Yours might be blank, but there's also a folder called Full Xbox 360 Firmware Pack. And in this folder, here are all your firmwares. So you'll copy all of these into the Jungle Flasher firmware folder. And basically, you're looking for LTU2, which is what you need to run this disk drive on your 360. So we'll just open up Jungle Flasher and we'll try our best to make our way around this. So I'm going to plug this in. I'm using the, as I mentioned, CK3i V1. You should still be able to get this, V1, V2. You just need some way to power the drive, and I'm using a, I think it's called an X3 USB Pro. There's also a V1 or V2. Also, you'll just need some way to get SATA. And basically, all I'm going to do here is I'm going to plug this bad boy in. You'll see nothing on the PCB itself, but when I hit power, if I go to the MTK Flash 32, is it? And I intro, so you'll want to select fat. This is going to sound very confusing, but don't select slim, select fat. We'll hit intro, and I believe this should ask us, yep, it'll say it's going to send a command within 1 second. You want to power it off and on. So for me, it's just flipping the switch off, flipping the switch on. And we'll see it sends a request ID, and then all of this beautiful stuff comes up. So it's in 072 mode. From here, you want to make sure you have 0x00 here. If you see like 0x82, I believe, you'll press that for 0x00 so you can write. From there, I'm going to open JRunner because we need to see what DVD drive version we have, because there are different versions for the D4S, D5S, and you want to match your version correctly. So if I just open up this, and I open up this, and then you paste your CPU key, if you go to key vault, you'll see, for me, it's a DG16 D4S 0225, and my DVD key is here. So all I need to do is find the corresponding LTU2 firmware. So I'll click Open Target Firmware. We'll head on over to our Jungle Flasher folder. And if we go into firmware, we're looking for LTU2 0225, right? That should be the corresponding one we need, 0225. I'll copy the DVD key in case if we need it. And then we'll right click here and you'll see it says key C/R. We'll click on that and we'll give it our cr.bin. So that's in our Jungle Flasher folder. And we'll give it our key.bin. Sorry, so I said FCRT, I meant key.bin. So key.bin. There we go. So it's key.bin, not key-decrypt or key-the other one, just key.bin. And I'll select OK. And we'll see here that it loaded our DVD key, so we didn't need to paste it. And it's going to take a moment because Jungle Flasher is weird like that, but it should generate the file we need. And you can just choose where you want to save it. So I'm just going to keep things clean. I'm just going to save it here. And for you, it's not going to ask if you want to override it. For me, it will because I have one here. So we'll click yes. And our key is done. So if we head back over to the MTK Flash 32, all we need to do is hit write. And it will just write our chip, write to our chip PCB, you know, we'll write to it. And when it's done, it's just going to verify it to make sure that it is indeed correct. And once we're done from there, you'll see in drive properties over here, if we click outro, and let me just power cycle it. If I click on these three dots and I click on 000, you'll see 000 is just the port for my USB, so it's whatever port for you. It'll be a 16D4S firmware revision 0225, and we're good to go. And that's basically the entire process. So from here, we'll put it back together and see how it goes.
And while we do that, I would like to say thank you to today's sponsor, PCBWay, the premier destination for top quality printed circuit boards. In a short span, PCBWay has become the go-to choice for seamless online ordering, rapid prototyping, and unparalleled customization. From hobbyists like myself to industry leaders, PCBWay has earned the trust through its commitment to precision and reliability. Cutting-edge technology and a skilled team ensure that every PCB meets the highest standards. Beyond circuits, PCBWay fosters a vibrant community of creators, turning ideas into reality. Join the innovation wave with PCBWay, where quality meets ingenuity.
Alright, so we're all put back together, we're locked and loaded. I'm going to hit open tray. And that's a good sign. First up, I'm going to test a retail copy for Lost Planet. Usually if these work, things are fine. Sometimes they don't work, and then things are not fine. So the drive was working prior to this, so yeah. And we're going to boot up Lost Planet. There we go. Next up, we're going to try Fear 2 Project Origin. And this one is a backup copy of the original game that I owned. So we're going to put that in. You be quiet. This one might not read because it's definitely scratched up to another lifetime, which seems to be the going trend of all my, because I haven't used these in such a long time. Yeah, unrecognized disc is probably because of it being scratched up, but we have a few more we can try. We'll try a copy of Guitar Hero 3. One of these should work. There we go. And this is unreadable. And that's because... Okay, one of these, I thought that one was gonna... They're really rough looking on the bottom. Like you can't... Yeah, they're really beat up. Maybe Call of Duty World at War will work. I don't have many of these left laying around, so... I'm just trying what I have to see if maybe one of these will boot up. This one sounds like it's gonna have a hard time. I have this. I don't know what's in this one. I hear it wanting to read it. Yeah, these have been thrown around for quite a long time, so I'm not surprised that they don't want to read properly. Ah, this one might read. No, it won't. Let's try. Okay. Let's try maybe... I don't know what's in this one. This one doesn't have a title. Ah, this one works. This was a clean disc. Call of Duty World at War. I don't know why I have two copies of World at War, but that one works. So there you go. That's how you do it with a flashing of a D4S, D5S. You can do the same with a Hitachi. So let's recap. You need PCB. You need a way to read the PCB, power the PCB. You got a RGH or bad update to get your NAND dumps in your CPU key. You need to use your CR and your key.bin. Give them to your LTU firmware along with your DVD key. Flash it up, screw it down, and we're good to go. So yeah, if you thought this was useful, interesting, maybe it gave you some insight on how to flash your own drive, leave a comment down below. If you have any questions, also leave them. I'll try my best to answer. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya. I can't fall to sleep, my mind just keeps